soo baxday baaritaan sameeyay ka bacdi waalidiinta Soomaalidu badankooda inay carruurtooda jeclaan dadka qaar.
I wanted to talk about this because it's something that's very close to my heart. It's something very, very close to my heart. Something that I absolutely not only experience, but I see, like an overwhelming amount of times. I've always believed and I've always known that Somali parents do not love their children. And it's always bothered me, and it's always made me feel like I was not Somali in the way that other people were, because the things and the way I struggled and the issues and my way of self-expression was always seen as a non-Somali. Like, you know what I mean? Like the way I express myself, the habits that I have, the ambitions and goals and things that I care about, they were really never seen as something that was Somali. But most importantly, I have truly, for the longest time in my life, didn't feel like I felt the love of my parents, which was a very difficult thing to come across, but also I didn't understand it. I looked around it and people treated me like I was like an ungrateful child who was not doing the bidding of their parents and stuff like that. And even right now, I live on my own. I've lived on my own since I was like 19 to 20, and it didn't come across like that. Making that kind of decision, being a girl and stuff like that, it didn't come easy as well. However, it didn't also at the same time make me, feel bad about the fact that I wasn't living with my family, because I felt like I was losing my mind just living with them or being in constant communication with them, or like just continuously be in the same space. And it's so funny because the way they act right now is so different to how they used to treat me and act towards me when they knew I needed them. But I'm so glad somebody said this also, because I want to cover it like portion by portion. Somali parents do not care for their children. They have many, many, many children, and they see their children as like a way of either getting a better life or as a way of making their name, better, or making them seem more respectable to people. Or both. In most situations, it's both, right? They want they want their children to be seen as great individuals who have, achieved A, B, C, and D. And they also want their children to make them look good, make them seem like they're very obedient, make them seem like they are canvases that you can paint whatever you want on them. I've seen people literally in their 20s all the way into their 30s who are so scared of making a decision that their parents might, not like. I've seen people so paralyzed by the idea of what it means to be a person, like struggling with a sense of personhood without their parents. I've seen people who just genuinely do not seem like they have come into adulthood. And it's terrifying. And also, most importantly, one thing that I do like is I like to see depth in people. I like to see people who genuinely, you look at them and you feel like, yes, you are full of so many experiences, and I like to hear you think. I like to hear you talk about things that actually matter. And I've listened and sat down with these people, and it seems like they just did not have any sense of self at all, and it was terrifying. I spent most of my life being judged for not putting what desires of my parents and their wants for me at the forefront of my life. But then I look at the opposite of what I could have been, and I feel better. But also at the same time, Somali parents do not know how to express their love to their parents if they have love for their they don't know how to express love for their children if they have love for their children in the first place, which I do not believe they do. It's very hard for me. It's almost very rare for me to see a parent being very sweet, very kind to their child regardless. It's very hard for them to either discipline their child or sit with them and talk to them about something that they're doing that they don't like. That's also very, very hard. It's something that I do not respond to well as well. I don't like people who talk to me in a very authoritative manner. I cannot comprehend somebody thinking that they have authority over me. In my mind, I really cannot wrap my head around that. It's something that I really struggle with. I truly cannot imagine anybody thinking they have any sort of authority over me. I struggle with that a lot, actually, in every aspect of my life. But that's one of the ways I've seen it, which is like they have this superior, need to just like remind you that they're above you and stuff like that. And I do not respond to that. Like I'm not even like trying to make it difficult and stuff like that. My brain just cannot comprehend somebody having power over me. It's just not there. That aside, these people have children without planning. They also have children without planning. They don't think about, oh, I need to have this many children because I can provide this, and this. They don't think about that, right? Because Somalis are also very much anti-family planning. They don't care for family planning. It's a sin, a crime. It's everything else. But then they bring children to, into homes and families that really do not have the finances necessary to raise a child or even care for them. They also, like, the way they speak to their children, the way they treat their children is just really very distasteful and very disrespectful. Somalis, teach their children, like, they speak to them in a very violent way, but also treat them in a very violent way. They need to constantly and continuously punish them in a physical manner, in a way that is almost always forceful. It's disgusting as well. Another thing that I would like to say, and this is mostly from a girl's perspective, like a daughter's perspective, is the need for them to feel like they have power over you in terms of planning or like choosing somebody that you can get married to, which is a situation that I have faced and unfortunately still facing. They dictate and nitpick the kind of person you need to bring back, and they talk over you and about you and not talk to you, while also planning your life all around it. And when you are upset and you're like, I don't like this, suddenly it's back to victimhood. It's back to, oh, I wanted this for you, I wanted that for you, and you don't like it, And again, like, genuinely for me, I'm so glad I got over the need to be a good child to my parents, because I realized that the cost was just too high for me to pay. But yeah, I'm so glad somebody else is talking about this. Have children if you want them, but do not have children out of either necessity, or do not have them because you're looking for carbon copies of you. You want to project everything that you are not to your child so they can achieve all the dreams that you had that you could not achieve. But you also want to project only the good parts of you onto your child so other people may praise you. And I believe that's also a very big mistake.